Civilis Libertatis, civil liberty. The COVID-19 pandemic highlighted tensions between individual freedom and community responsibility, with some complying with mask mandates and others protesting restrictions. In democratic countries like the United States, individuals freely protest social issues and government actions, while in authoritarian regimes like Myanmar, dissent is violently suppressed. Freedom House reported a global decline in individual liberty and democracy for the 15th consecutive year in the year 2021. Well, what is authoritarian? Authoritarian is a style of government that enforces obedience to government authority by strongly limiting personal freedom. The Bill of Rights is a list or summary of the fundamental rights guaranteed to the individual by the state. In the United States, the first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution. Civil liberties guarantees freedom from government interference. Civil rights guarantees of equal treatment by government without discrimination based on characteristics an individual shares with a particular subset of the population. Communitarianism describes a worldview that emphasizes the need for community and its values and the positive role that government plays in the lives of its citizens. The idea that government exists to protect the rights of its citizens, but also to form a political community to solve public problems. Community is, in essence, a group of people with shared interests and values, for example, a family or religion or political group. Community responsibilities and individuals' duties or obligations as part of a community, including cooperation, respect, and participation, goes beyond thinking and acting as individuals to common beliefs about society's order and the treatment of others. And of course, Constitution is a framework, it is a blueprint or a foundation for the operation of a government. Constitutionalism, however, is a system of government with three elements: the rule of law, limited government, and an element of individualism. So we have rule of law, limited government, and individualism in terms of constitutionalism. Due process is a legal requirement that the government respect the rights of the people, a demonstration of the rule of law, and the balancing of government power with individual rights. Human rights are inherent rights that, philosophically speaking, can neither be given nor taken away by any government, the basis for freedom, justice, and the peace all over the world. And we have the Declaration of Human Rights, for example, signed by Eleanor Roosevelt. Inalienable describes rights that are due to all persons and, philosophically speaking, can neither be given nor taken away by any government. Individualist describes a minimalistic government system wherein individuals take precedence. Liberalism is a system in which government actively protects individual rights. Libertarianism, however, is a system in which government exists in order to provide a means to assist individuals in achieving their private interests. Negative rights are statements of individual rights that emphasize limitations on the government's ability to infringe on those rights. Positive rights are statements of individual rights that emphasize the government's obligation to guarantee those rights. Privacy in a liberal democratic system is a space separate from public life where the individual has personal autonomy to think, speak, and behave without being monitored or surveilled by another person or the government. Responsive communitarianism is a system that seeks to blend the common good with individual autonomy while not allowing either to take precedence over the other. It's a kind of a checks and balances. The rule of law is a philosophy of how society should be ordered in which all leaders are held accountable to the law, a higher law than majority rule. And again, constitutionalism is a system of government with three elements, the rule of law being only one of those elements, limited government being a second, and element of individualism being a third. Concerning freedom of the individual, civil liberties protect individuals from government interference, ensuring personal freedoms. However, individuals also have community responsibilities as well, obligations to others within their society. Balancing personal freedom with communal expectations is essential for maintaining both individual rights and social cohesion. Constitutions and individual liberties. Most countries have a constitution that serves as a blueprint or foundation for government operations, outlining either limitations on government, which are negative rights, or obligations to protect citizens' rights, which are positive rights. Political systems vary between individualist models prioritizing personal freedoms and communitarian models emphasizing social cohesion. Constitutionalism includes adherence to the rule of law, limited government, and protection of individual rights. The rule of law ensures accountability, fairness, justice, while the due process is that which guarantees fair treatment through both procedural guidelines and substantive protections. Concerning the right to privacy, self-determination, and the freedom of ideas, the right to privacy is a fundamental civil liberty, protecting individuals from government interference in thought, speech, and actions. Societies interpret and regulate this right differently over time, however. Freedom of expression includes speech, freedom of religion, and this is essential but not absolute. And these are certain forms of speech, such as, for example, think about threats and incitement to violence. These are restricted even in liberal democracies. Many democracies also navigate the paradox of tolerance, for example, limiting the expression of ideas deemed harmful or intolerant in the interest of the public good. And then there is freedom of movement. Freedom of movement includes the ability to travel within one's home country and internationally as well. Though international travel is more heavily regulated, for example, you might need a passport for that. Migration, which involves permanent relocation, differs from temporary travel. Debates over immigration laws, refugee status, and open border policies also highlights the complexities and the controversies surrounding the freedom of movement. Concerning the rights of the accused protect individuals when their freedom is at risk. In rule of law countries, police must inform individuals of their right to remain silent, legal counsel, and self-defense in court. Additionally, however, jailed individuals have the right to be brought before a court and informed of the reason for their detention. And so, of course, in the Department of Public Safety, we have the Miranda rights and things of that nature. The right to a healthy environment, very important. Many human rights organizations argue that environmental damage, including climate change, violates human rights by indeed threatening people's ability to live safe and healthy lives, not just humans, but other animals as well. As climate change worsens, its impact on human rights will become a key political and legal issue in the debate in modern politics.